Hey everyone, hopefully you're having a good day. My name's Andy, my channel's Finding Value. Today we're going to go over our daily technical analysis for gold and silver. We're going to take a look at the entire complex to see what's going on. We're going to look at the dollar, 10-year yield, and so forth. If you guys like this content, don't forget to give me a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel. I usually do that at the end of the video, but might as well plug it in here in the beginning. But let's get in. I'll let the charts do the talking. Again, it's just my financial opinion. Please don't use it as advice. But here we go into the charts. We've got the dollar pulled up. The dollar looks strong. It does look like it's going to continue to go higher. Yeah, we had a little small down day today, but again, it still looks somewhat strong with this nice big bullish candlestick a few days ago and the small down days within it. That's what I look for when looking for continuation patterns. This is just a consolidation period, I think. For a little bit, we'll probably end up going a little bit higher before retreating. At least that's my opinion. Look at the 10-year yield. Look at that pop. We had a bullish engulfing yesterday of the day before it, and we popped higher. It's exactly what these statistics would bear in this situation. We had resistance or support underneath us, and we were expecting a higher move in the 10-year yield. We got that higher move, and in my opinion, gold's kind of indifferent at the moment with yields. It's kind of feeling out what it wants to do. Sometimes it goes up with higher yields. Sometimes it goes up with lower yields. It's really a mixed bag with the precious metals at the moment. But I think long term, we're going to see this go up in tandem. Just give it some time. Gold, it has a very nice pattern. Notice, we zoom in here. This is on a daily candlestick pattern here. Nice big move higher, small selling pressure. So I think that the buyers are in control, and I would see and expect a move to move on higher here in the very short term. Silver's got that same type of pattern. We've got a nice good bounce off this hammer pattern coming up, small selling pressure, and a bullish engulfing pattern today on this up day. And what that means is that the opening and closing price is engulfing the candlestick before it, and it usually means that it's a continuation pattern to the upside. This looks very good for a downward motion, sideways motion, and a potential upward move. Platinum is taking the same playbook from silver, kind of a downward motion. We hit the bottom here, and I think we're going to see some sideways to upward action going forward. At least that's what I'm hoping. But the charts do look like the momentum is slowing down. And it looks like we are contracting a little bit. And what I mean by that is you can kind of get like a little contraction here where we could be breaking to the upside here. Get this out of here. So that's platinum. Looking at the XAU to gold ratio, we'll back out a little bit. We've got this massive pattern. I had to take it off of log. We're looking at it because this is a ratio. This is the XAU to gold ratio. It's a gold-silver index to gold ratio. And we went into this decline. We went into a descending wedge pattern. The momentum's been worked off by going sideways. This is just a massive pattern. And then I think eventually this ratio will move higher, breaking this, going into an uptrend on a ratio perspective. Aurora Resources, this is a individual company. On a daily basis, looks like we're going to be doing some chopping sideways for a little bit. So downward move, and usually when you have big momentum moves, they need to kind of slow down before they turn. The slowdown here was coming up here, fell down. We're chopping sideways at the moment, and eventually I think it'll turn back up. EXK breaking its downtrend. It's looking okay. I'm looking for the chop sideways. SILJ is the same thing. We had an up day today, 2.23%. I'm looking for a choppiness sideways before a move higher. It's just kind of how I look at things. They kind of move, they pause for a little bit, and then they come down, they pause for a little bit, and then they move back up. Just like this consolidation period there, just like this little consolidation. It came down, it chopped sideways, and then it went up. This one came down. Well, this is just one large pattern that is chopping sideways at the moment. It's in a consolidation phase. MMNGF is still chopping sideways No real update there, just a small update today. Koya Silver is looking like it's trying to square up and break this downtrend eventually. Hopefully it can do it, but it's still in the downtrend. Discovery Silver, it's right here at resistance. Looks like we've had previous resistance through here. It's right there trying to break to the upside through that resistance. Hopefully it can do it. First Majestic Silver coming on down, and we're at a very cheap area. I think it's probably a pretty good buy point if you guys like it. Down here, I call it almost a no man's land, but descending wedge, broken, descending wedge, broken. And hopefully we can get some traction to move on up. Newmont, the reason I watch Newmont is it's got the biggest massive pattern I've ever seen in my life. This thing breaks, it's going to be fun. But descending wedge, we're chopping sideways at the moment for Newmont. Yamana Gold's in another big pattern here. There's the big old pattern that we've got. Whenever they have a downward slant, it's usually a bullish formation to move higher with these big flag patterns that are slanted downward like that. Impact Silver, moving sideways just right at support. I mean, if you guys like this is one that you might want to add a little bit into. If you need some more silver exposure, it's a small silver company that's a producer. Aftermath Silver, looking at this guy, it's come all the way down. It's trying to find some support right here. Zooming in on it, you can see this thing just rocking sideways, moving sideways at the moment. Jumping into some royalty companies. This is SAND, Sandstorm Gold, and we're right below its support line. Well, actually, should turn that on. There we go. It's right below the support line. We just got to pop this thing higher, get it back into gear above its support line here. And we're right there playing with that support line. Franco-Nevada is also putting in a big old pattern. I'm expecting this to break, and we'll have a lot of fun there. The projected move is up over $230 or so from where it's at. I do expect this thing to kill it eventually. EMX Royalties putting in a hammer pattern. Zooming in on it, you can. I think this still has some downward momentum. Oh, this is a reversal pattern, but watch out. This thing could bounce and go a little bit lower here. There's a lot of momentum in this candlestick here. It's a big sell-off with good volume. So this thing could roll over and head a little bit lower here. Newmont Resources has been chopping sideways. This is what it looks like on a big picture view. This could drop down and then rocket launch higher. So don't be afraid if this thing does drop down. I own it. I've been cost averaging into it. I think they've got a lot of stuff going on. They've got a lot of royalties, and this company is highly leveraged to the price of gold, especially when it gets up into the upper dollar range, or expensive gold, I should say. They have a lot of high cost, lower grade royalties and properties that they own themselves, and they're proving up gold all over the place. Especially their Tudor is exploring one of their properties on a real nice property that they could get a lot of gold out of. Wheaton Precious Metals, another royalty company. It's chopping sideways inside of its pattern. We're just waiting for this thing to break. It's going to be a fun ride when this thing all breaks, guys. It's going to be so fun when all of this massive pattern breaks out of here. We already broke this pattern here. There's the first one we broke in 2018. We had a first move, and now we're creating another pattern to break. Gold royalty. Looks like we got a little update today. Let's go to the daily candlesticks. We're just chopping sideways at the moment. It looks like we got good support underneath here on this side all through it. Metallo royalty. Nice big up buying pressure week this week so far. It's looking pretty good. We're coming back. Hopefully we can break this downtrend line. That's what we're looking for. Mavericks Metals. Again, we broke to the downside. It's still trying to find some footing here. Got a little bit of buying pressure recently. Hopefully it can hold its ground here. Royal Gold doing a little turtle head peeking out today. We're saying, hey, Royal Gold, breaking out of its downtrend line. It's in this massive pattern, just a massive pattern here. Hopefully we can break to the upside, not break downward. This does have a slight ascending wedge-ish tilt to it, but the market conditions should blow this thing to the upside. It really should. And then we've got Osisko Gold Royalty. And we've got the massive pattern, the monthly hammer pattern, the weekly. It's a little bearish. We got a lot of selling pressure through here. This could roll over and downward. And this on the dailies is a lot of selling pressure through here. So hopefully we can kind of turn this around, but it does have the possibility of breaking down with this large selling pressure. And again, guys, I don't really trade in and out of these things. I just hold on to them. So I own them. I've owned them for a while. I do cost average in every once in a while. And I'm playing this for the big picture view, the 5 to 10 years plus. We're in an expansion phase. All the market conditions are there. So it's ready to go. It's just the timing now. If this were to break down, I wouldn't be scared and sell out. I would just wait for the momentum to dissipate, buy more, and just hold on. That's how I'm playing it. I have 100% conviction in the thesis of the channel. Look in the description link if you want to see what the thesis of the channel is. There's Thesis 1.0 and Thesis 2.0. And I'm a big bull in commodities. I think we have inflation, et cetera, et cetera. And this is one spot I think is good to hang out in, especially the royalty companies. If you guys like this analysis, thumb up, subscribe to the channel. Thank you for listening. This is Finding Value.